if you feel that you don't know if you're in an abusive relationship or you don't know how to classify something as abuse, number one, probably if you're questioning if it's abuse, it probably is abuse. But if you do have questions about it or just need somebody to listen to or have somebody to talk to, please reach out to me. Okay, whatever resources I can give you or whatever, advice, prayers, love, whatever it is, if you reach out to me, I got you.
Yeah.
Yeah. What? Dream Lab music.
I'll be trying to take you serious.
I don't take myself serious.
Yeah, I know. I know you don't.
Nope. And who gon' check me, boo? Nobody. This is why I don't nobody take me serious.
Exactly. Like I don't. Have we ever had a serious conversation?
Yeah.
We have.
When you say serious conversation,
I mean,
we've talked about
where
serious
we're not
topics.
joking.
No.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think we've ever had a serious conversation.
It's boring to do that. We still have productive conversations. We just have a little jokey joke in the middle of it.
Joke?
Yeah.
Little jokey joke.
Ain't nothing wrong with a little jokey joke.
Your hair good?
Yeah.
All right.
It's gonna be.
As good as it's gonna be.
As good as it's gonna be. As good as it's gonna be. What's up? So good. I don't know.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Cause please, nigga, shut up. I'm just playing.
I was about to be like, all right.
I'm joking. If you haven't checked, if you haven't noticed, we got the Miami vibes going because Kev is stuck in Miami. So he couldn't make it today. Y'all know he's a traveling human being.
Love you, Kev.
But yeah, he's in Miami. He's stuck. So we just decided to kind of join him in spirit.
We planned it too.
Yep. This is so planned.
Uh-huh.
Everything about this is planned.
Everything.
Yep. Yeah, anyway. So what's the words?
Hello?
Welcome to episode 13 of the Dream Lab podcast. It's your Captain Dre Perry, and I got one of my co-pilots here.
Oh wow.
Chrissy B.
Yeah. Ooh, Chrissy B. We switched it up today.
Did we switch it? Have I never done that? I've never
said
done that.
Chrissy B, but that's fine.
I kind of like that.
I kind of do too. Is that my podcast name?
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
And I created it. 35%.
Whoa.
35%, my nigga. 35%.
Of what?
Of what you bring in as Chrissy B has to kind of go to me, right? I kind of created like the name sometimes stirs up. All right.
Okay. Whew.
Okay.
I was wondering how far you were going to try to go.
I was going to go as far as I could, and I know that I can go far, so I just decided to park this puppy right here.
I'm screaming.
How are you?
I am good.
That's good. That's good.
How are you?
I'm fantastic.
Oh, dang.
Yeah.
Ask me again.
How are you?
I'm bedazzling. I had to one up you.
That's fine, because I don't have nothing past that. I don't, nigga, what does that even mean? But you're bedazzling?
Yeah, I'm bedazzling.
That means you shining?
Yeah, I am.
Okay, what's going on? Where you shining? You shining? All right, what's up?
Gotta shine on these niggas.
Okay. Yeah, those are facts. You do have to
shining
on these niggas. You do have to do
in
that.
this dull world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's very true. That's very true. You have to, no, for real, you got to stay alight. You got to stay alight because we always find our way to like get serious.
Yeah,
right?
we do. See, so you said, do we have serious conversations?
But
we
I mean,
do.
like off air is what I mean. But no, I think we talked about this before. How me personally, I've noticed like people are just kind of like stuck in a system. Like people are really stuck. I'm noticing people like their responses are the same. Hey, how are you? Hey, I'm hanging in there. It's just like, dang, like every day, all the
still
time.
hanging?
That's what I'm saying. And the thing is, they don't even know why they still hanging in there. It's because you keep saying it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
I'm glad that you a light, so you can shine, so people can then be illuminated.
I have no choice. I'm light skinned.
Facts. We do have a tendency to shine on niggas.
Like all the lights, you still see me.
Facts. Low key, like we actually was able to cut our light budget in half because me and Christian are part of this podcast.
I can't say what I was about to say.
This is so dumb. This is so dumb. Yo, so I just wanted to first of all just check in with you, see how you're doing. And then you did ask me how I'm doing. I'm doing pretty good. Baby's doing good. Elisa's doing good. Life is good. Like I've been like so inspired lately. I read this book, The Four Agreements. Kevin talked about it before. I don't know if he talked about it on the podcast. I know he talked about it on.
I think y'all were talking about a book.
And I think that's the book. Yeah. I think that's the book that we were talking about. And I listened to it on Audible. That helps me, like especially when I'm cleaning up and stuff like that, working out. I listen to books.
Okay.
I probably because that's the only time I can focus. Like so. Just the beginning of it just like hit me, and I'm just like, bro, like I don't know. I'm just read it. I don't want to spoil too much. I'm still kind of like digesting it.
I think I'm gonna try Audible because I used to be such a bookworm, and I've been saying for the longest like I want to get back into reading books, but I need to make the time. I'm not gonna say I can't find the time because the time is there. I just don't make it.
Time be there.
It be there. Yeah. It definitely be there. So, but I will definitely download Audible.
So Audible is a subscription based.
Yeah, send me a password.
It's with your Amazon.
Oh.
So I think it's like $15 a month.
After my Amazon Prime?
Yeah.
Oh man. How many books I gotta read?
So you get one free credit a month. So I had it for a while and was paying for it, and I didn't know that I was paying. This is when I really wasn't budgeting.
Okay.
And it was Apple all throughout my bank statements. I just wasn't paying attention. I was stuck in a cycle, and I was just wondering like why I'm always, living paycheck to paycheck, and then I'm broke and all, and then you snap out of it and you start paying attention. And so I started paying attention. I'm like, when did I sign up for Audible? I signed up for this like a year ago. So I had like 12 credits. And at that point in my life, I was just like, all right, I got to get focused. And that's when I kind of started, on there listening, to different books and stuff.
Okay.
And I just continued to pay for it monthly because I felt like it was, benefit to me. But I think there's some other alternative ways to get to audio books. I'm not exactly sure though.
I'm gonna find it too.
It's called Google.
YouTube.
Yeah.
There you go.
So what you could do, that takes away from it, but you could go to YouTube and have somebody break down the book like they do, like breakdowns and stuff like that. But the Four Agreements it's really short too. So like the Audible time length was like 2.5 hours.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's a good book. If you are interested in a book for personal development, for personal growth, spiritual growth, honestly, I would say the Four Agreements. Look into that. So yeah, moving beyond that. A few episodes ago, it was just me and Kev, right? It was like the season 2 finale premiere.
Yep.
And my wife and I, we had noticed that I was able to really just kind of like talk to Kev, and he was able to kind of like really kind of like get personal. And we noticed that we're in this episode 13, so now it's time to start to get a little personal. So it just so happened that it's me and you today. So I want all of us, me and our the dreamers, the audience included, to kind of get to know you a little bit more.
Okay.
Because all we know is that we know about the makeup. Bentley. Am I saying it wrong? I'd be saying stuff wrong. Bentley Beauty.
Yeah.
Oh, I said it right. Okay. So, but before we even get into that, who are you? Yeah. Yeah. No, like tell us a little bit about yourself. I know that's a terrible question. Like I hear that's a terrible question in dating. Like when you dating somebody, like when they say, well, "Tell me about yourself." Like
that's like when you're going around and be like, "Give me a fun fact."
At work, I hate that. I hate icebreakers at work because I didn't come here to learn anybody. I don't really like. I'm like I don't care. Like I don't care. I care about these people, but I don't care.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, but anyway, give us a little bit about yourself. Like, you grew up in Michigan? Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
In Michigan all my life.
All your life didn't move out of town.
Did not. You
grew up in the church.
Hell yeah, I was a pew baby.
Did you say hell yeah?
No.
Oh, I thought you said.
I said, oh yeah.
I think to me, I thought you said hell yeah. I was about to be like, bro, like, oh, what type of church you grew up in?
No, so I've been in church all my life.
Mm-hmm.
Ever since I was a kid, I've grown up in church, and I went with my parents, obviously, like as a kid and through my teenage years. And then when I turned 18, that's when I finally like branched out to kind of find my own church, because my mom was like, hey, you don't got to go to church with us, but we still would like you to
could still go to church.
Be in church, yeah. So
first of all, let's pause right there and let's commend your parents for that, because like, I know when I left mine, like my family was just kind of like,
why would you do that?
Yeah, and it was it was really like tough, and so to know that you had family that would be like, hey, like, okay, we raised you, now it's time for you to find your own path. Like it's okay. Like I think that's dope. So shout out to your mom.
Yeah, for sure. So that's what I did. I found my own church and was there for some time. I've been in church all my life.
Yeah, no, I feel it. Me too. So like, cause I feel like we talked about this early, like when we first, like episode 2 or 3 or something like that. And we were talking about, like when you were younger and dating, I'm like, did you date or anything like that? And you were like, no,
I did not date. I'm just now starting to get into like the dating realm. And
how? I thought you was married.
Yeah, you're funny.
How you just getting into dating?
Okay.
But we ain't gonna get to that point yet. We'll get there. We gonna get there.
Okay, we gonna get there.
But let's back the truck up. Okay, let's do it. Who you thought I cussed?
Yeah, they did.
No, so listen.
Number 1, strike 1.
You're crazy. So dating when you were younger, like when you were living with your parents, that was non-existent.
So I wouldn't say it was non-existent. The original agreement was I could start dating when I was 16.
Okay. So I had a conversation about this.
So we had a conversation about it, but for me, I have always, and I don't know how to classify it, but I've always been a little bit, I don't like being told no.
Okay.
And I didn't like to be told no.
By your parents?
By anybody.
Okay.
I don't like being told no.
All right.
I want what I want. Okay. Because then, but even applying it to when I was a kid, like being told no, then I'll get an attitude and then I'll get in trouble for having an attitude. And all of it, kind of was a result of me being told no.
So why do you think you have, finish your story. We'll talk about that in a second.
So I wouldn't want to ask certain things like, hey, can I go on a date with somebody?
Because you knew they was going to say no.
That's what I assumed. I assumed they would say no instead of giving them a chance to be like, sure, just, do this, that, and the third. So when I turned 16, I did get me a little boyfriend, actually a little bit before I turned 16.
A little boyfriend, like he was shorter than you?
No, he was actually much taller than me.
Okay, so,
what a time. Anyway, so.
Continue.
So it was a little bit before I turned 16. I was like 15. I was close to being 16. And but started talking to him and we made it official or whatnot before I turned 16.
Okay.
And so right before like the week before my birthday, my 16th birthday, they found out that I was.
How'd they find out? Somebody in the church snitched.
No, Jesus did. My mom said she.
Stop. Not your mama was praying and God revealed it to her.
Listen, one day, she said the Holy Ghost revealed it to her. No, but listen. So at the time, I had obviously my cell
Clearly,
phone.
she's tapped in because she was right.
Hey, that lady. One thing I can say is that lady be tapped in. She got that relationship with Jesus. Shout out to you, Mom. Anyway, so at the time, I didn't have a smartphone, so I had an iPod Touch, and then I had my phone.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and so I was getting in trouble for something completely different.
Mm-hmm.
I think I had left my light on or something. It was something dumb. I forgot what I did. But my mom was like, yeah, put your phone and the iPod on the table. Now, normally I could prepare for me getting in trouble, so I did what I needed to do. But it was so like out of the blue.
It was an ambush. Sneak
I was
attack.
blindsided. She blindsided me. She all of a sudden just knocked on the door like, yeah, go ahead and put your phone and your iPod on the table. I was like, now. So I did, but I didn't have time to go through it.
Sweating bullets.
Delete nothing. And so I put it out there, and then from there,
That's how a lot of the niggas be cheating.
Mm-hmm. Sure did.
They be
Sweating
like-
bullets, breaking down doors and stuff.
But anyway, go ahead.
But yeah, so went through, my phone and everything and saw that I was
Wow.
dating, and that's how they found out. Then, yeah, so. But I could technically date at 16. All I had to do was ask, and I didn't.
Got you. So, you have a hard time with people telling you no. Obviously you're being funny, but you're serious.
In a way, and it's not okay, because that sounds bad, like I can't be told no, but I just don't like the feeling of disappointment. And a lot of times no, it's like, oh, dang, you told me no, or whatnot. But I don't like feeling disappointed.
Got you.
I don't like looking forward to something, and then it's like, you can't do it.
Got you.
Well.
Okay, that's fair. All right. So let's fast forward. So
Okay.
you are out of high school. Did you go to college?
OCC.
OCC. Okay. Oakland.
Some college.
Oakland Community College.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oakland Community College. I don't know what the mascot was.
It's fine. It's okay.
It was a community college.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't.
They hadn't.
No.
Anyway. Yeah, I went to OCC for a few years. I did not finish.
Yeah, I didn't finish
Yeah.
college either.
I actually want to go back, because when I tell you, I think I need like 2 classes, and I'll have 2 associates.
You have 2 associates?
I would have 2 associates, because midway, like, I started just taking classes. I don't know what I was doing with my life, but I just started taking
Mighty
classes.
God.
So
You're just out here.
Yeah. And so it'll just
Wow.
equate to
Okay.
2 associate's degrees. I said,
Gotcha.
okay.
So I met you 2017, 16,
Yep.
somewhere around there.
17.
17. So I met Christian. How do we meet? I feel like, did you send me a message or
No. So
Or did-
you said that you were looking for
A soprano.
A soprano.
Okay.
Somebody had tagged me in
facts? That's
and
what
then
it
you
was.
reached out to me.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Yep. That's what it was. Had you heard about us before
Yeah,
then?
because it was right after the Blood of a Champion concert, I think.
Okay. Yep.
And I was supposed to go to that concert.
Really?
I forgot what happened, but I wasn't able to make it. But I was supposed to go. At the time, I was looking for more opportunities to sing, because, singing at my church and stuff, it just wasn't consistent, and I wanted more experience.
Yeah,
so,
yeah,
I had just posted either a couple days before that or like a week before, like, I want to, anybody looking to.
And then look at God.
Dre said, hey, I'm looking for a soprano. And then Asia had tagged me in it.
Okay.
Shout out
yeah.
to Asia.
Facts. That these are facts. Like, now
Yeah.
that you're saying this, all of this is coming back to my recollection. Okay.
Yep.
Yes. So that's when I met you. I remember when you first started singing with the group. You like learned all of the music like really fast, and I remember you were like posting you singing it at work, and I was like, oh, she is so serious, because I had just gone through a season where people like was just leaving the group. Like, I had a full group, and then it was just like one by one, and then I had like one person. And so I was just in a way desperate, trying to rebuild. So I remember when you became a part of the group, I remember you were just very like I'm a part of this, and I could see that you wanted to be here.
Yeah.
And it was like a relief for me, honestly. So I don't know if I ever told you that.
No.
But yeah, no, thank you for that. Because I mean, like that season, like I was kind of like trying to figure out if I was going to continue, because you know when you think things are going well, it's almost like when you're in that first relationship and you know things are going well and then they don't, and then I know for me at least, because of self-esteem, you think like, oh, there's nothing else, I can't move on past this, and it was just like, bro, yes you can. And so I'm just learning that lesson now, but this ain't about me, this is about you.
I didn't know that, but one thing about me is when I commit to something,
you commit.
I commit to
Facts.
it. Like and sometimes like I commit so much that I keep on taking hits or whatnot, but I'm like, I'm committed to this. Like, no, I'm gonna keep on going.
Got
so
you.
Sometimes I don't know if it's
you think
such
you
thing.
commit to a fault, like to like overcommit, like to where it could be damaging to you.
Absolutely.
Because you want to commit so much to you gave your word.
Yeah.
Wow.
And the loyalty, but it's not, because I used to think that.
Is that why it's hard for people to tell you like no? And I'm just guessing.
We might be unpacking here.
I don't want to. I don't listen. This episode is going to end up being 3 hours if we do that.
Are we unpacking here? Because I did miss therapy.
Mighty God, not I miss therapy. I need that copay, okay?
But like I commit, but it's just my heart. Like my heart is, again, when I commit to something and I love, you know, a person or something, like I'm gonna give it my all. But in that, it's not my heart. I learned, and somebody told me it's not your heart that's the problem. Because for a minute, especially after my divorce, I was like, oh, my heart, it's just it's a blessing and a curse. I just I need to be cold to everybody. Like that's what
what pain will do to you.
Yep. I was like, I need to be cold. I wanted to be mean. Like after that, I wanted to be mean.
Hell yeah.
I wanted to be cold hearted.
I feel that.
I wanted, like, if anybody tried to approach me, they'd be like, dang, like that girl, ooh, she ice cold. Like I wanted that.
Because you wanted to inflict that pain, like you wanted to give it, because it's like you were thrown this energy and you just need to now release it.
I wanted nobody else to be able to play with me, and I thought in order for nobody else to be able to play with me, I had to have a cold heart. It's like, no, you just need to know how to have boundaries. You need to learn how to have discernment and things like that. And so that's what I was told, like, oh, your heart's not the problem, it's your discernment.
Wow. And
I was like,
because we're told like Jesus was like if you get slapped, like turn the other cheek, like it like basically like it, allow it, like it's you're supposed to take it because it's going to teach you something, right? But it's like, dang, how much of this can I take? Like, but that's why you got to have that wisdom. So like you said, that discernment and letting people in. So how was that affected? Well, no, because we can't skip over the fact that you was married, so I can't even go. That's twice now. Because we can't go into the present until we talk about
the past.
The past. So
how we got here.
Right, you were singing in the group. And did you meet your ex-husband?
In the group?
No, he wasn't in the group, but I'm saying like around when you were in the group.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I started the group in 2017.
Yes.
And we met in 2018 at a group event.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. That's interesting. Okay.
Great.
Hey. A lot of people have gotten married together because of the group. I know, honestly, like, that's crazy. But or just have met people in relationships. I've realized that. Recently I was thinking about that, but so you meet your ex and y'all be dating. Is this your first real, like, I know you was dating when you was 15, 16,
right?
Like those was a little cute.
So, but that's the thing, you saying those, it was only one.
Oh, so it was just him.
I've only had 2 serious relationships.
Oh, it was him and him?
Yep. Wow. So I had my high school boyfriend. I had dated him from, I think it was my sophomore. We were at 4 years, I think. Almost 5 years.
What?
So
long term.
But when I say I commit to something, okay?
Was he committed?
He was. I can say that. Like I can truly say, like, he was committed. He was cool. Like, of course we obviously broke up for a reason, but was cool. But yeah, I think my sophomore year of high school to my freshman year of college.
Okay. Well, that freshman year of college do something to people, so that's when a lot of breakups happen anyway.
Yeah, but the thing is, I didn't go off to college.
Did he?
So maybe it was my sophomore year of college. So he was a year younger than me.
Okay.
And so I had went off to college first, but I was still local. You know, I went to OCC, so I was at home. I was a manager at McDonald's at the time. Why? Because when I commit to something I do and became a manager when I was 18 years old, on my 18th birthday, you're a manager. So
wow. Okay. Yeah. Oh, wow. So you like commit. Like I didn't, that's you. Like when you say yes, it's like you got her yes.
Like when I'm tapped in and I'm like, like when I'm tapped in or I'm dialed in, I'm like, either I can see the vision or I can see where I can go. I'm all in. Let me see, do what I got to do. That's for work, that's for relationships, that's for friendships, that's for tasks and different things like that. Like,
wow.
Yeah, that's just how I am.
Okay.
So manager at McDonald's at the time. And so I was still at home. Now the problem started when he went off to college. He went long distance as well. So
I'm telling you, right. So it was him. Yeah. It was them little freshmen.
So
freshmen.
Them freshmen. Okay, so he was out of town, he was out of state, and then obviously it was his freshman year of college. And not necessarily saying, I don't know what was going on there, but it developed some insecurities on his end.
Okay.
And it was just like, you the one gone, not me.
Got you.
What's going on? But it was a lot of insecurities, and it transpired, and that was the reason for the breakup.
Got you. So we done with him. And then your next serious relationship is the person that you married.
Correct. So from the time span of 2016 to 2018, I did not date anybody.
Okay.
And that's like not going out on dates,
Not talking to nobody.
When people would, I was also kind of naive and gullible to certain things. So even if people would be trying to talk to me, like I realize now, oh, you were trying to talk to me.
That's crazy because I realized that about myself too. Like, wait a minute, what
you liked me?
Oh,
you had a crush on me. You were trying to date me. You were trying to take me out. I was just like, oh no, I got to do my homework, and like thought nothing of it. Okay. Like me, I'm just thinking you're having a conversation. We're just but so between that, no, like seriously talking to somebody, dating people, I didn't do that at all. So then
you meet this guy.
Yep.
Yeah, y'all started dating. Yeah. So with your eyes now, with your experience now, with your wisdom now.
Yeah.
Why do you think that he was the guy that you was just like, oh, I'm gonna be with him? Like,
by the time he had came around, I had started to get the, I'm lonely. Like I kind of want to, I miss talking to someone. I want to go out on dates and things like that. And then he came along and it was like, oh, great. Someone's showing me attention and I actually notice it now.
That's very similar to my story when with my ex-wife.
Yeah.
Because I didn't have no serious girlfriends. Like it was girls that I talked to and that never really like lasted. Yeah. It was always like short. And so like, when somebody came along who actually paid me attention, it was just like, oh, I'm all in.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's why I was in my marriage for so long, that relationship for so long. And so I can kind of understand where you're going.
Yeah. Yeah. So when he came along, it was just like, oh, this is different. This is new. And it was like attention, like, hey, after that service, what's your number? We were supposed to go to a birthday party, or someone's birthday dinner, and I didn't go to that dinner. And he was like DMing me throughout the dinner and stuff, and then it was what's your number? Gave him my number. Then we.
So he's applying pressure.
Yeah, he was applying pressure.
Okay. No, I mean, and you get that attention. Of course, you're going to be like, all right, well, let me see what this is about.
And I hadn't had attention like that either, so it's just like,
got you. Okay. And then, how old are you at this time?
I can't do math.
Mighty God.
All I know is I was born in 97 and it was 2018.
Okay, so you was 21.
No, I wasn't 21 yet.
19.
I think I might have been 19.
I'm sorry, I did the math backwards.
97.
Wait, no, you said 97 and this was 2018?
So was I? Oh, I didn't turn 21 yet, so I was 20 at the time.
Right. Okay. I'm like, wait a minute.
Because I was like, I celebrated my 21st birthday with him, but I wasn't 21 yet, so I was 20.
Got you. Okay. So yeah, that's when you start to like feel yourself anyway.
Yeah.
So it's the fact that somebody else feeling you and you feel you like, okay, well, yeah.
I
forget you, mom. Forget you, dad. Forget you, everyone. I know what's best for me.
I had red hair at the time.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's right.
I had the red hair, and then that was actually I did. It was almost like once he started to show me attention, then I started to get attention like elsewhere, and it's just like, oh. People are noticing me.
People are noticing.
But yeah, he definitely was applying pressure at that time.
Got you. And then y'all got married.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Woo.
So answer me this. Before you got married, were there red flags?
Absolutely.
Okay. So you just, because of that commitment issue, it's like some people have commitment issues where they can't commit and you overcommit.
Yes.
So because of this commitment thing that you got going on, and is there a self-esteem at all? Do you value yourself?
I do now.
Right.
But
so
at the time,
that's what I'm saying. You couldn't have if you accepted.
Exactly.
Got you.
But it's something that I'm still trying to, because especially, and I know we're going to get deeper into it, but especially after experiencing what I did, you get to in the process of grief, because it is a grief process.
Hell yeah.
You get to that, like, well, that angry, like, why would you do that? And kind of blaming yourself and
Mighty God.
wondering what's wrong with you and things like that. So I had to realize, like, what did I do in the process, or where was my mind in that and throughout there? And I just didn't experience a lot. That's all I can really kind of connect it to.
Got you.
I wasn't so experienced in dating. Like now I've dated, I've kind of, realized what I like, what I don't like. I didn't know at the time what I liked. I didn't know what I didn't like. I didn't really have I had an idea because my parents have been married, 20 plus years. So I knew what that looked like.
But you didn't know how to get there.
Exactly.
And that's the thing. I think a lot of us see the picture, but we don't see the process. We don't see the brushstrokes on the canvas to get to the picture. So no, I totally get that. I would say that you and I probably had very similar experiences. I think that's probably why then we connected so especially once you were going through your divorce, because
that was like the turning point.
Yes.
In our friendship.
Absolutely. That's definitely, I think, when we started to get closer.
Yep.
Because I can relate to that. I didn't have much experience, and then it was just like, well, I remember like, well, if we break up, like nobody else was paying me no attention, so this just might be it. And then, not saying that that's what she said to me or anything like that, and I, we're gonna get more into your experience, but I know what that feels like. I absolutely know. So tell me, is that like, you said you saw the red flags? So
I see what the red flags were now, but at the time I didn't think, oh, this is a red flag. I wasn't thinking like red flags. It was more
were you irritated though?
In the beginning, no. I had so much patience.
So it was stuff that was happening that wasn't necessarily favorable to you.
Correct.
However, you accepted it and you gave grace.
Yes.
And you find out that you gave a little bit too much grace.
Absolutely. And I would just be like, okay, we're going to figure it out. And this, and, even at one point he tried to, I remember now that he had tried to break up with me at one point. This is when we first started talking, and he tried to break up with me, like, I'm just not ready. And I was just like, no, like, we can do this. It's okay. Like, what do you need from me to? Maybe you should have just.
Wow, because what is going on? Like, we've never talked about this.
No,
we've never like gotten to this detail before. So this is crazy that we're going, but that was very similar. Like I had moments where we were going to break up, and it was always me trying to like, no, let's fix it. Even with being cheated on, all of that stuff.
Yeah.
Like before I got married. So like once you just accepted everything and continued to go. Now, would you say that the things that you accepted, were they things that if he would have actually like turned around would have been okay? Or was this like some foul shit? Like he was like doing some crazy stuff before y'all got married, and you just accepted it?
Certain things, like towards the beginning, like my car situation, that was just stupid. That was stupid on both sides, though. Okay. Yeah, but certain things like that, I think that was more so young and dumb type thing.
Right. Stuff that people do. Yeah,
I get it. Small stuff. Yeah, but when we got I would say once we got about probably a year in or so, that's when the things that were happening, it should have been like, no, I should have left then.
A year into
the relationship. Yeah, dating.
Got you. And you just, okay. So, you get married. Mm-hmm. Were you excited? In the moment, like when were you?
In the moment, I was excited.
I can't even say in the moment, because of what moment? Not the right. Just like when you were like, all right, he just proposed, like the idea of, all right, we're about to get married. Like, how do you feel?
So with that, around the time that we had got engaged, it was like everybody around us was getting engaged. And I was comparing myself for sure. Jesus. I was seeing a lot of people getting engaged and getting married, and these were people that had been together for shorter periods of time. Mm-hmm. So, and then of course, not being married, and then being, living with each other and stuff, then being in church all my life. So then I'm hearing on the other end, like, you shacking up.
I was just about to say, like, right. That's that point right there as it relates to the church, like that. That's why I know a lot of people, and myself included, because it's just like you rush into marriage because it's just like, because we all screwing. So, yeah. But it's just like you got that guilt that's hanging over you. So people are just getting married. And I know that didn't just start now. That was happening back in the day. Mm-hmm. People was liking somebody and was hot in the pants, and they got married. Mm-hmm. But back in the day, you didn't get divorced. So right. A lot of those marriages continued on. You saw it because they didn't like each other throughout. Right. They just learned to tolerate each other. Right. But our generation was like jumping in these marriages and was just like, whoa. You know nothing about, like, I didn't even know nothing about being a good boyfriend, let alone getting married. You see what I'm saying? And I'm not trying to, because I'm not trying to put the blame all on my ex. Like, I didn't know a lot. Like, I didn't know a lot about myself. Like, it's some revelations that I'm having about myself. Like,
you're continuously learning yourself.
Yeah, and it's just like, Jesus. Like, thank God for grace, because like, where I am now, like, I'm like, nigga, if I was single, I would still be like waiting to get married, because I know I got a lot of things that I need to kind of work on, because then you'll realize what you won't accept. Right. Because it's a mirror. We're a mirror. So it's just like you kind of attract where you are in life. We don't attract high value people or people who, who have worked on themselves, healed people. A sick person doesn't attract a healed person. They attract another sick person. Right. People, we trauma bond. So I know a lot of times we may not have necessarily are doing the same thing, but we both broken. Correct. And so we meet in this broken place, and we're trying to make this picture, but the pieces, it's broken.
The foundation is already unstable. Yeah. The foundation, like, you're built on nothing, right? Like, if the foundation is unstable, how can you expect to build upon that? Absolutely. And so, like, we didn't put the work in as individuals prior to. And again, like, the conviction and the always hearing, you shacking together, like, you need to get married. It's better to be married than to burn, and things like that. And although I will now, after my experience, I know, but after my experience now, what I will say is I do not see myself ever living with somebody again that I'm not married to. Mm-hmm. And it's not just like a religious perspective. It's more so like that is a commitment that you are making with somebody that is not somebody that you're fully committed to yet. Mm-hmm. And it's just, I don't know, it's just levels to it. And I just, because it was so many times prior to, because we were living together before, but we weren't married, that I should have then again left. But because we were still living together, and although I'm upset and I'm made up in my mind, like, we're going to break up, I still I don't have to necessarily sleep next to you, but I'm still sleeping in the same house. And so then as time went and days go by, you get the sorries and you get the gifts and you get the, let's make up, and then, it's over. Yeah, right. Facts. And won't do that again.
No, I feel
you ain't got to worry about me. But yes, to answer your question, in a way, I wanted to be excited because I felt like I was doing something right. I felt like, I felt so convicted, and I kind of felt like things weren't going right because I wasn't living right.
So then you just felt like, okay, well, then
we need to get married.
Yep. And a lot of times, we think that marriage is going to be the answer.
Yeah, I was like, we need to get married. And then seeing other people getting married. And so I definitely was the one like, you need to marry me. We need to get married and stuff. I definitely was more so like
pushing it.
Yeah, I was pushing it.
Got you.
And so when we got engaged, I was like, finally. But then it still felt, even trying to plan a wedding and things like that, it still was so much chaos. It was chaotic. So I didn't really get the chance and the time to be able to enjoy it. I didn't get to enjoy being married. If not the night we got married, the next day, like we already were in an argument. Like there was no honeymoon. It wasn't the marriage bliss. It wasn't feeling like we were building something together. Like it was always chaos. So it was like I wanted to be excited. I was trying to force myself to be excited and be in that whole wedding planning and it didn't happen like that. Yeah. Especially
when you go into something with the wrong intention. Because even though it was pure, your intention was pure, it was wrong.
Right.
It was still like, oh, you need to marry me because this.
Correct.
And it wasn't kind of built on the way where you both would have been like, yeah, this looks like the next thing for us to do is to get married. You see what I'm saying? Like that was that mutual thing. So I get that. And it's big of you to be honest about that. So you get married and it's chaos.
And
a lot of shit happens.
A lot.
A whole lot.
A lot.
A whole lot.
A lot.
You are free to express what you want to express.
Yeah.
And whatever you decide not to. People can't, get upset about you speaking your truth. Because who do you think you are?
Who are you? Crazy.
To do something to somebody and be like, and shut up. Don't you ever tell anybody that because
it makes me look bad.
I made a mistake. and I'm not just talking. This is not just talking about your situation. This is just in people in general. People will do people wrong. And then if you say something, it's like, well, now you got me out here looking. No. You did this to yourself. Every action has equal and opposite reaction.
Correct.
So if you reap what you sow, what you like,
correct.
You can't get upset about that. So you get married, a lot of shit happens. Yeah.
So the thing is, the things that were happening when we did get married, it didn't just start when we got married. It was happening before. It was happening prior to. It's just, again, thinking that, the marriage and the commitment would help. I thought the reason that everything was falling apart when we were dating was because we're not married. We're living wrong. It's not supposed to be like this. So maybe if I make it right, everything will begin to come together. I was trying to force something to work that wasn't meant to work in the first place.
I did the same thing.
Yeah. So with that, dealing with insecurities again. So then I had to take a step back and be like, okay, if I dealt with insecurities with my previous boyfriend, but it didn't turn into anything, and then I'm dealing with this now with my marriage, what am I doing that is causing people to be insecure? Because I assure you I'm not doing anything.
Right. So now you questioning yourself.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, why am I making you feel like I'm cheating? Why am I making you cheat? Why am I making you feel like I'm doing stuff? Why am I making you feel like
people project? Because
and I didn't realize what that was in the moment. I didn't realize the projection. And what I can wholeheartedly say is that in my marriage and in my relationship, I was not unfaithful. I was again, when I commit to something, I commit to it. And so the projection was real. And there was so many things that transpired in the short time that we were married that were said. And, you realize what people go through in their childhoods and growing up or whatnot. It can affect them.
It does.
Their
We're
adulthood.
Just big kids until it's taken care of.
Yeah. So, being accused of so much. Being accused of cheating, whether it was cheating with other people as far as like friends. I was accused of being gay, liking girls, and
Happy Pride Month.
I gotta stop clapping. Sorry. But like it, hey, whatever floats your boat, but it doesn't float mine. So I was accused of that. And then it got really crazy when it started being like, oh, you're like sleeping with family members. Your family.
What?
Like your brothers, your dad, and the thing is, I would be sitting now with the mindset I have now is like, you can't say that to me and I sit here and what? That doesn't make sense.
Exactly.
But then I was fighting tooth and nail, like trying to prove like, no, this is not it. And well, you did this or you said this, or when you were on the phone, you did this or whatnot. And it's just like, so then I was starting to become isolated. And that's where abuse starts, right? So absolutely. The isolation happens. And again, this was happening prior to, being married or whatnot. But the isolation begins. Well, for me, the isolation began because I didn't want to cause any problems. I don't like conflict. I don't like discord.
So I'll stay here. I'll be here.
Yeah, I don't.
What you want me to, we'll just be here. We'll just be here at the house.
Yeah.
We can watch Netflix. That's fine.
That's fine. All the time. So like, I wanted everything. I didn't grow up around arguing. I didn't grow up around it. So I tried everything I could to do what I can for us not to argue. But in me doing that, I was isolated. I was isolated from my friends. I was isolated from family.
Yeah.
Didn't go out. So the girls' nights I would have with my friends, the few that I did go to, I would come back home and it would be an argument because, I must be sleeping with my friends. And then, going to my family's house, if I go to get my hair done by my mom, then it's like, oh, you really went there to go see your brother. And, it was just really like.
So. And I can, and like you said, knowing what you know now, there's no way in hell you would just continue to deal with it. There's no way you can keep saying that crazy shit to me.
No.
And I'm going to just sit here and just like let you just make up these stories.
No.
And, I'm glad that you are no longer in that space.
No, thank you.
Because, I mean, I'm learning to look at, we all have issues. We all have something. And so that insecurity in you kept you bound, but then his insecurity kept the manipulation going. So it's like you said, if we don't take care of that thing as a child, whatever it is, we're all dealing with something, right? So it doesn't stop there.
No,
there's more.
Well, as far as everything.
In your in the marriage, yeah.
So right, it's not just the insecurities or technically mental abuse, right? Then there's emotional abuse, which also played into the self-esteem issues.
Gotcha.
Right, so hearing certain things
about yourself,
about myself,
and after a while, you begin to believe it.
Oh yes, like after a while, like there were times that as far as like my weight was talked about. I have PCOS, so I do have PCOS, and so with PCOS, one of the symptoms or whatnot is struggling to get pregnant. Okay, so with that, wasn't getting pregnant as easily.
So fertility issues.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And that was like, you can't even do what you were created to do.
Wow.
That.
Wow.
Like being a woman and being told by the person that you love and you thought loved you that you're worthless is gut wrenching.
Because it's like those words, they have so much like power.
Yes.
And that's so that book, I want you to really read it because it talks about that, like you can reject anything that doesn't align with you, but if you don't know you, then you will accept whatever stray arrows come your way.
Yeah.
And I think this is so healthy for us to talk about, because I know there are so many women in relationships and marriages that deal with this. There are men in relationships, because I was a man in a marriage that dealt with being insecure and staying in a relationship but being cheated on for a very long time and just accepted it. You see what I'm saying? And not trying to make it seem like I was perfect but nobody's perfect. But what I'm saying is you'll find yourself just dealing with stuff because you don't really know you.
Right.
So if you know who you were, if you really know who you were, then you would be like, this doesn't align with me.
Not at all.
And knowing that I don't have to accept this, that the person for me is there for me, and was just a lesson, and I see that you failed, so we're moving on to, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But if we don't have that self-esteem, if we don't truly believe in ourselves, if we don't truly love ourselves the way we need to, and have these conversations, I know that, like you said, you saw your parents married, and I saw like my grandparents married and my mom and stepdad married, but I never really had marriage conversation. I've never really had dating conversation. Correct. You see what I'm saying? And so it's kind of like you kind of know the outskirts of how it looks, and this is your man pays for a woman's date, and you open the door for her and you cook his food and da 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 da. But it's just like, it's a lot deeper than that.
Yes,
it's so much deeper than that.
Yes.
And so I don't know if you had any more points to add, but please.
What I will say, to kind of piggyback off, because you were saying like a lot of people don't even realize, like a lot of people don't realize that you're in a mentally or emotionally abusive relationship. And mental and emotional abuse is just as bad as physical abuse.
Absolutely.
Right? Because it causes you to, with the gaslighting and the manipulation and things like that, it causes you to, think that you're crazy and go through this depressive state and different things. So mental emotional abuse is just as bad as physical abuse. When it's all coupled together, they all play a part. So like if you mentally and emotionally not where you need to be, then it's a lot easier for you to be physically abused and stay there. Correct. Because you don't have anything else to lean on. You see what I'm saying? Like if you were mentally, you broke me down already.
If you were mentally and emotionally good, and then you got hit in the face, you would be like, nigga, that's the last time you do that.
First and last.
My dad and brothers are gonna come and jump you.
Now,
but you see what I'm saying? Yeah. Like that would have been that. But when all of them have been attacked, like you said,
your mind, your emotions, your mental, your thoughts, your self-esteem, your self-worth, your self-value, all of that was attacked. And like you said, it's easier for you to, that physical abuse is added in. And so I dealt with all three. So I dealt with mental, I dealt with emotional, and I dealt with physical abuse. And again, it was happening prior to the marriage, but thinking, because after that happens, you go through love bombing, and you think that it's going to get better, and it goes good for a while, but really it's just laying dormant. Yeah, it's laying dormant until it flares up and it happens again. Absolutely. So if they do it one time, they're going to do it again, and each time you try to believe like, oh, you know what, he's sorry.
This will be the last time.
He's not going to do it. This will be. He said that he's never going to do it again. He cried. He said, oh, he loves me so much and stuff like, oh, I got to.
Tears don't mean
tears. Save your tears. Cry me a river. And now I see what Justin was talking about. Okay.
For real. Yeah. So, you got out.
I did.
You got out. I remember. I don't know if I hadn't seen you for a while or something like that. I think it was like a season where the group wasn't really rehearsing. I know. Yeah. That's usually when I would see you. So then when I did see you, and you just looked different, and I'm just like, and you just little by little was telling me, the process and what was going on. And so what was the thing? What was the irritation? What was the final straw? The turning point. Yeah, what was the turning point? I'm trying to use all of the examples.
So the turning point, because it was a build up for everything, and the turning point, I think, because I slowly but surely started to think like I'm fighting over about something that I'm not even doing. Like I was using all my time and my energy into this. Like this is ridiculous. And there was a situation 2 weeks before I left where I was once again accused of something with somebody that I work with, and this person was a female as well. And this person it was just a lot of connections to this person, and it was conjured up in his mind that I was having relations with this person.
Relations.
Right. And so he called her. And
wow.
Yeah, he called her and was pretty much like, yeah, stay away from my wife. I know what y'all doing. Blah 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 blah. Like went into this whole tangent.
Where I mean, I guess you don't know. Like where does that come from? Like are you giving signs? Is it what are you doing to And I'm saying this in a way, I'm not too serious because obviously you're not doing anything. But what
I asked myself that too, though, but then that's what caused me to start acting weird towards my friends and start to be like, oh, let me not hug you too much. Let me not do this. Like the first lady of my church one day was holding my hand, and I think she like rubbed my hand, and he's looking like, yup, that one too. I mean, If it was up to, I was sleeping with everything, breathing, walking, moving that had any type of private part. I could have slept with my dog at this point.
That's wild.
So with that, like, yeah, it was very wild. But yeah, the turning point. So called her and was having all this thing, and so physically took my phone from me. Like it wasn't like a hand me my phone and hand me your phone. I handed physically got the phone from my hands and called, this person. This person was actually out at that time on a date with a man. And it turned into this whole thing. So now she's calling me afterward. I'm at that point, like, I'm so mentally like, this is embarrassing now. This is somebody that I work with.
Right.
You're affecting her. What she got going on. Now she's texting me, calling me.
Now her husband at the table like, what's going on? So you eat coochie.
You are a carpet muncher. Is what you're telling me.
This what you're telling me at Olive Garden? This what you gonna tell me, Sandra?
I ain't even got my breadsticks yet. And you trying to tell me? Can I get my breadsticks?
Where's my Zufus Toscana?
I ain't even get my tortellini. I don't even want to know more. Like, so that was like, in that moment, I was just like, I can't do this no more. But that wasn't the turning point. The turning point was the next week because I had left after that happened.
The turning point, never mind. Go ahead.
Yeah, but I had left and went to my parents' house.
And
I never did that, but I had to get out. And so I left and I went to my parents' house. I spent the night over there, came back, blah, blah, blah. Then the next week came around. I was working 2 jobs at the time. I was working at my job at UWM and I was working at McDonald's at night to keep everything afloat. Okay. And so came home after working all day, came home at like 11 o'clock at night. And for some reason, I can't remember why the argument was started, but it was just like, then it turned into, pretty much like, I'm on to you. I know you went to your parents' house because you went to go sleep with your brother. You wanted to go see Jordan. And it's just like, what? And I just kept saying, like, I remember I kept saying, please just let me take a shower. Please let me just wind down. I've been working all day. Please. I'm begging him, like, please, I ain't got it in me. Like, please, I don't. And he pushed me. And I fell into like the bathtub, but I felt like this. And then he had grabbed, like, it was a cup or something. He grabbed it and he splashed water on me. And I'm just sitting there. And as I kept trying to get up, he wouldn't let me get up. So it's just like he kept knocking me down. And I'm just like, that's it. And he used to always, because it was this thing about my family or whatnot. He had a problem with my family because he felt like they had a problem with him, which they were seeing what I could not see. Right. And so he was like, I dare you to call your daddy. I dare you to call your daddy. I dare you to. And in that moment, I was so tired that I was like, okay. And so I called. It was 11 o'clock at night on a Thursday. And I called my dad.
I know Dad was on tour. Skirt.
Man, literally. I called my dad at first and he didn't answer. Called my mom. Now, mind you, they sleep. They 9 o'clock. They out of here.
They even prayed, had sex, now they sleep.
They out of here. Okay, good sleep. So I called my mom, and so I guess she had me on speaker, and so I was like, Mom? She said, yeah. I said, is Dad up? And she said that at that moment, my dad heard my voice, and he knew. He rose up.
He knew.
And started putting on his clothes. And she said, yeah, why? I said, can he come get me? And they knew then.
And by that time, he was like,
safe. Boop, boop, boop.
No, for real.
So thank God, I just went straight outside because I did not want my dad to go in, because I like my dad in front of bars, not behind him, behind them. But yeah.
Amen.
Yeah. And my parents knew, like, because that loyalty and things like that, I didn't say anything to anybody. Nobody knew. His family knew.
Wow.
My family did not know. My friends did not know. So I had to deal with a lot of that, when I did finally start telling people, them being like, I didn't know. You didn't tell me. Like,
that's what I got a lot of too.
mm-hmm.
Why didn't you say anything? Like, are you just kind of just taking it? You just accepting it, and you don't want to show anybody because you like you said, you're trying to make this work.
Yeah.
So you don't want nobody else coming in.
And it look bad, and you getting people involved. Because I know for me, I get annoyed when you keep telling me the same thing and you're not doing it. So I'm not gonna do that. So exactly. I didn't tell nobody until I was sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus. And as a new father now, like, just to think like, I wish a nigga would.
And my dad still doesn't know the full extent. Him just knowing that he had pushed
Your dad don't watch the podcast, do
he? No.
Okay.
But I'm not even getting into the full extent of like the physical stuff.
Okay, yeah, please.
And so my dad just knowing that he pushed me because he kept asking my mom, like, it's something, what happened? Mm-hmm. And so she finally was just like, he did push her, that night or what. That in itself,
that's all it takes. You got one time to lift your voice, raise your voice at my daughter.
That broke my dad down, and to see how that's the aftermath of my choices still, and your choices affect everybody around you, and to see how that broke my parents down and broke my friends down, the ones that are really for me, like the people that truly love me, the hurt. I can never put myself through that again, but I can never put the people that love me through that again. I can't. I can't.
And that's another good perspective as well. Like, that keeps you balanced to where it's like, hey, like, I ain't gonna even try it, because what if, like, who knows? Like, right. I'm of course you consider your happiness, right?
Yes.
But at the same time, like, I don't want my family to ever kind of experience, right? You don't ever want them to experience something like that, because something could have happened. He could have snapped or something like that.
Exactly. And I was about to snap. I thought I was about to kill him in that moment. I said, "Oh God, I gotta call my dad."
Well, I'm glad that you called your dad.
I did. I did.
But we don't stand for abuse.
We don't
stand for abuse. We don't stand for abuse. Weak men put their hands on women. I'll say it again. Weak men put their hands on women. And it's because when your dad, did he come outside and say anything to your dad?
No, and he knew not to. He was talking that stuff, but no, he did not come outside and say anything to my dad. But I also was on the front porch with my suitcases, and just thinking about how everything had transpired. Like God was shifting everything or whatnot. Like the way that I had those suitcases is just the story behind it. I'm not gonna get into because I know time wise, but like having that and how everything played out and transpired, it just was insane.
Well, we're going to take a pause right here because I need to go somewhere and pray. No, I'm just playing. No, we're gonna take a pause right here. We got an advertisement for you, and then when we come back, we're gonna spice things up a little bit. Yeah. All right. So
that was deep.
Sorry, guys. Stay tuned.
What's up, y'all? Another small business shout out. We have my girl Jasmine Taggart for all of your lock needs. So all of her social media handles will be available, but you can look her up on Instagram _thelockdown_. Again, it'll be on the video. All right, but just a few of the things that she does: 2-strand twists. She does starter locks, interlocking, micro locks, retwist. She even does color services. So if you're looking to start your lock journey or maintain that lock journey, hit up our girl Jasmine.
What's up, everybody? Listen, for all of our small businesses, all of our entrepreneurs, listen, we have an opportunity for you we want to shout your business out for free right here on the Dream Lab podcast. All you have to do is send us an email with information about your business, your social handles, all of that stuff. If you want to send us a sample, that would be great too. But anyway, we're going to shout your business out for free right here on the podcast, just like how this advertisement is in the middle of the episode. Your advertisement for your business can be in the middle of this episode. So all you got to do is send us an email to dreamlabpod@gmail.com. Jax, I'm trying to record a video, bro. That's right. Send us an email to dreamlabpod@gmail.com. And we will respond if we need any more information, or we will respond and let you know what episode that your advertisement will be on. So make sure that you take advantage of this, because this opportunity, this free opportunity, it's not going to last long. So get it in while you can. All right. Enjoy the rest of the episode. So I looked up some crazy dating experiences.
Okay.
Right. So first of all, I put in the community. I wonder if anybody responded, because sometimes they moving a little slow in the Dream Lab community. Just kidding.
He's not. You do.
Yeah, because it's only one person that responded. So I put worst dating experience ever. Now, clearly you expressed.
That's the worst dating experience ever. There you
go.
Mm-hmm,
so I put in the community and somebody said their worst dating experience ever was meeting his toxic ass mama on the first date because he needed a jump. Imagine being on a date.
The first date?
The first date and then his car break down. Well, I mean, hey, that happens.
It does happen. It's not even that's like, it's because he needed a jump. I can just imagine somebody
First of all, so his toxic ass mama, so like what
was toxic about her?
For you to understand that she was toxic in that little bit of time, unless y'all continue to date and you find out later on that she was toxic. Right. Still, that's just very interesting to me. So put it in the comments, y'all. Yeah. What's your worst dating experience ever? So I went to the Googles.
Yeah.
And somebody said he wore a t-shirt with pancakes on it that said, "Do you like all-nighters?" with pinstripe pants. He popped a wheelie on his motorcycle without warning, and I almost fell off. Insisted on a specific place, then argued with the waiter about a price reduction when the meal was over. Yeah, you should have.
That was all one experience or multiple?
That was the whole date.
What?
The pinstripe pants, Beetlejuice.
With a pancake shirt.
Do you like all nighter? He popped a wheelie and you almost fell off.
Why was you on his motorcycle?
Stay on the ground, sis. Just stay there.
Please.
Don't follow him home. Next one. Let's see what it says. I drove 8 hours to meet someone I've been talking to for a while, and on the way there, she decided to get back together with her ex. When I showed, she just left a note at the door. That was fun.
In that I want to know how long they have been. 8 hours?
8 hours, nigga. 8 hours.
You better meet me halfway.
First of all, I'm not driving 8 hours. So if I am doing long distance relationships, which if I was single, I don't know if I could do it. 8 hours, I'm flying.
Absolutely.
I think I'd be more. No, I'd be less pissed. I'd be more pissed because I had to drive. I don't care about the money. I don't like to drive.
Yeah.
And if I drove 8 hours to see your funky behind.
And you left a note. Like, was it a sticky note? Did you at least laminate it or something?
It doesn't even matter.
It doesn't.
I'm waiting till y'all get back.
I'm about to burn your house down.
What's the girl from TLC? Left Eye?
Yeah.
Mighty God.
Okay. Because what?
If I decide to... What? You left a note instead of texting me?
You like, what is this?
1920? I'm confused.
You couldn't have sent a dove or something? What's the birds?
I'm
the
just
pigeon?
saying, before I got on the freeway.
Even Game of Thrones was able to figure out how to get messages to certain kingdoms, and you couldn't send me a text.
First of all, you left a note.
A note.
All right, we're moving on because that just pissed me off a little bit more.
Like, was that a surprise thing, or she knew that he was traveling 8 hours?
That's what I'm saying. Like, you're a terrible person for doing that.
Definitely a terrible. There's no excuse for that one.
Unless he's leaving out something like he was just like cheating or something like crazy, and then she was like, "All right, I got you."
She was popping up or something. I mean, he was popping up. Yeah.
This one says, I got set up with a blind date at the movies.
Ooh.
I was just a kid in high school. Took her to the movies. Was going fine, and out of nowhere, she bit my arm and was trying to get kinky in a packed movie theater. I left her there after she drew blood with bites.
What is the vampire? I want to call 911.
I'm not exactly sure. What?
I would have called the police.
First of all, we got to talk about that kink. You can't just get the biting me.
Like, what? You just start biting somebody and you think that's sexy?
I would punch you in the face. That's my kink. I like to punch people in the face when they bite me.
At this point, because why would you bite me? Oh my God.
He asked me to meet him for breakfast and then broke up with me because he had gotten engaged the day before to a friend of mine.
It got worse.
What's going on with these terrible people? So I'm gonna read this again. He asked me to meet him for breakfast. So he wanted to tell you in person, and then broke up with me because he had gotten engaged the day before to a friend of mine. So y'all had been dating,
and he got engaged.
All at the same time. He's dating a friend of yours. They're engaged, and now he's gonna tell you over breakfast.
Breakfast. What? So he was dating you both at the same time. To date somebody enough to get engaged, unless you're just psychotic and decide to pop the question to somebody, is insane.
And that's her friend?
It's giving Love is Blind.
Yeah, I don't watch that.
But not a friend, though.
Speaking of blind date. He wanted to go to an Italian place. I ordered a Coke to drink, and we ordered a pizza. I get my Coke, and the pizza comes out. I grab one slice, and the dude moves the rest of his side and told me I was a little chunky, so one should be enough, and that I should wipe the grease off. This nigga said, so she grabbed one slice, and the dude moves the rest to his side like, whoa, and told me I was a little chunky, so one should be enough. And that I should wipe the grease
off. Nigga, you took me to an Italian place.
Wipe the grease off the pizza. Dap it. That's wild.
These are horrible.
These are really terrible. I thought I did. I mean, we have dealt with some terrible things, but these are terrible too. Guy talked with his mouth full the whole night. Bragged about how rich his family was, and then told me he usually dates girls with much bigger boobs, but went out with me anyway because you can buy those. So
are these? I want to know the demographic.
Because that's what I'm saying. Like, what
are these?
Can you have you? I mean, now that you are you single out here.
I'm single.
You single out here.
Single.
She's single out here.
Don't play with me, but I might play with you. It's like, no. It's like,
mighty God. All right, give her some time, y'all.
Yeah.
So you single out here though. So you dating a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. All right. So how is the dating scene in 2024?
So far.
And is it because you're still healing that you haven't met, like, because I mean you have a vision for yourself in the future, yes?
Yes.
And so you see with yourself with a non-toxic person.
Yeah.
You see with yourself with someone who isn't abusive, someone who loves you, brings peace and stability and leadership and all that stuff. So do you think where you are right now, I guess, do you think that is what you should have right now? Not saying that you're not worth it.
Right. No, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. So, like, right now, especially when we first started the podcast, because if you remember, I was like, I am not ready to date. I'm not in the for relationships and things of that nature. And honestly, I know I'll never be like completely 100% like perfect. Like, oh, I'm gonna be the perfect girlfriend. I'm gonna be the perfect spouse. I'm gonna be. Nobody's ever perfect, right? But I still am doing certain healing right now to make sure that I don't go through what I did again. You know, like if you jump into something too soon, you haven't put in the work to be able to really make sure. One thing, like, I have made up in my mind, I will never go through that again. I will kill a nigga. Just saying.
Unalive. Anyway. We're about to get flagged. YouTube about to be like, take this channel down.
That's it.
Just kidding. No, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
Yeah, but like totally the mindset now after the healing that I have done, because I have been putting in the work, going to therapy, you know, unlearning some things, learning things about myself and experiencing, you know. So as far as dating though, it's been okay, but it's just it's gonna take a special type of man.
Got you.
To be able to really be able to get my attention, keep it in, like, we get to the whole relationship and stuff, because I still believe in love. I love love. I want to be married again. I want to experience that, but it's not about to be just any and everybody,
right?
So it's really going to take a special type of man to be able to, I'm not going to say deal with me, but to be able to get that access to me again.
Got you. No, for sure. And it should be.
Yeah.
It absolutely should be. It should be somebody. It should be absolutely, which means that if you want the absolute best, that means you're giving your absolute best.
Correct.
And so since you are giving your absolute best, why would you accept anything less than the absolute best, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. So no, that's good. I'm glad that you're aware of it. Are guys out here, like, are they paying for dates still?
There are some that are still.
So some aren't.
Some aren't, but a lot of it can be me as well too, because I paid for stuff so much and I've had that certain level of independence that I don't go in expecting people to pay for me.
Got you.
To a certain extent, it would be nice, but I always have a backup plan.
Got you.
So if you pay for it, great. But if not,
no, yeah, still, yeah, always have money.
But yeah, there are still guys out here that will pay for dates. It's only one person that I've really been able to kind of date or whatnot, and that's because I'm starting to know. Remember, I said I had like a lot of patience before. I don't have that patience anymore.
No,
like if I feel that certain, I get irritated, not like anger issues wise, but like, oh no, I'm not dealing with this.
Yeah.
No, you want to be part-time? Be part-time with somebody else. You want to play with me? Go play with your kids, not me. Because I'm not doing it.
So, you spoke on PCOS. Did I say that correctly? And I believe that, if you truly want to have children, that you absolutely will.
Yeah.
And that diagnosis, I've seen too much.
Yeah.
We know God to be a healer.
Yeah.
So is you want that in the future?
Absolutely.
So how? Because I guess, as you get, people will be like, oh, it gets harder. Like, would you date some? Oh, well, I don't know, because your ex had a child. Yep. I was getting ready to ask, like, would you date someone with children?
Would I date someone with children? I see why people do not date people with children.
Got you. Yeah.
Because the heartbreak that you go through with the spouse, yeah, that's a heartbreak in itself. But the heartbreak I had to go through
with a child,
separating from him, and he didn't do anything to me. And me, if you knew how me and my bonus baby was, that was my baby.
Yeah.
From 3 months to 4 years old. Like, that was my baby, and still forever will be my baby. Right. But the heartbreak and the physical, my heart hurt so much that it physically hurt. Like, I felt my heart physically hurting for that. And I truly do see why people don't date people with kids. And that is because if you form a connection with that person, you form a connection with their children, and in forming a connection with their children, if that connection is no longer with the parent, it can no longer be with the kids. Now, I know some situations
where it can,
people can, but
you don't want to run the risk.
Exactly.
And some people just don't date people with kids because
they don't like kids, or they don't want the responsibility, because being a step parent is like, that's a responsibility.
No, for sure.
You always are going to, you always, in my experience and what I've heard from other people, is that you always feel like the outcast. You always feel like, okay, in my experience, I'm a parent when it's convenient. I'm a parent when you need somebody to, watch the kid, or, to help with this, or to grab some diapers, or to do this, to feed them or whatnot. But when it comes to like real decisions, or, I'm not even going to say discipline or whatnot, because he was a great kid, but like when it comes to like decisions, or like a disagreement about something, it was more so, this ain't your kid. This is my kid.
Got you. So that there, no, for sure. And I get why a lot of times it just be like, it's best to just have kids with the person that you married, the person that you're going to be with. Like, like, I mean, we all make mistakes and different things like that. And I won't even say mistakes. Like, we all people have had kids before they got married and didn't get married or whatever.
I'm a kid that was had before getting married.
Me too. So, dang, I guess I kind of just lost where I was going with that. But basically,
you understand.
Yeah, it's understandable, and it's so, but it also makes so much sense why you would want to make sure everything is kind of, at least for the most part, kind of, lined up, because you run into a lot. You run into so much. Even with, when I got married and they getting divorced, it just like, it was like, if I would have just been able to kind of just take my time on myself and really just made sure I was good, I could have saved a lot of heartbreak. But I mean, hey, we learn.
It made you who you are today. But I definitely do think of like, I would have had this. I probably wouldn't have this. This will probably be this way.
Sometimes doesn't it make you mad?
Yeah, I'd be pissed. Thinking about it now, I'm mad. Because you're like, man, where would I have been if I didn't allow that person to come into my life, or if I didn't go as far as I did with that person? Like, what would have happened?
But
you don't know.
But your story then now, it carries so much weight.
Yes.
Because the thing is, you were going to have a story regardless. So regardless of what the situation would have been, if it would have been a really terrible boss, or really terrible husband, or really terrible childhood, or really terrible experience driving, whatever the case is, everybody has a story, right? And so that was your story. And this, I'm just very, again, thankful that you decided to be transparent and talk about your experience. And it's not to we ain't trying to like dog anybody. The point of this is to send a message to people who are dealing with these situations. And also to send a message to the people who are putting people in the situations that you can't continue to do this, that you need to seek help.
Go get your healing.
That shit is whack. And that, again, abuse is never anything that's okay.
Nope. Never. That's not love.
It's not. It's not. It's absolutely not. It's absolutely not love. There's so many different ways that you can resolve an issue. So many different ways without abusing someone. Absolutely. So, I'm gonna just say that. Lightning round. You got to answer these questions fast. Jesus. Texting or calling?
Texting.
Favorite day of the week?
Friday.
Favorite city in the U.S. besides the one you live in?
Oh man, I don't know.
Lightning round.
To Houston.
Nickname your parents used to call you?
Oh man, they still call me in.
Say it.
I'll just say Moing. We're not gonna talk about it. Move on. Lightning.
After I turn all this off,
lightning round.
We're going to talk about it.
Lightning.
Last song that you listened to?
Mali Music and Loved by You.
Would you rather be able to speak every language in the world or be able to speak to animals?
Every language in the world.
I low-key would rather speak to animals.
Really?
Yes. I'd be Dr. Doolittle on this board.
Oh, maybe to really hear what they're thinking.
Listen, I would rally up an animal army.
An animal army is crazy.
Absolutely.
No, but Jax would be saying some stuff.
I know you do. Listen, I be pissing him off.
Yeah, you do. He be cussing you out.
Scale of 1 to 10, how good are you at keeping secrets?
Is it 10 being the best?
Yes.
10.
Okay. First celebrity crush?
Morris Chestnut.
Ariel or Jasmine?
I like Ariel.
Dawn or dusk?
Oh. Ooh.
I don't know why I did that.
I think I'm going with dusk.
Okay. If you could travel back in time, what period would you go to? The one where black people were free, I would assume.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything before that, like I gotta go as an imaginary nigga. Like I can't go like where they can see me.
No,
hey, get over here and pick this cotton. I am not supposed to be
a slave. I'm a slave.
Ooh, I am not supposed to be here. I was just checking out.
Hang on,
the scenery.
I'm free. Do you have papers? Papers.
I was born in 1990. What are you talking about?
Get him.
That whole scenario was wild.
It's horrible.
Do you snore?
Yes, I do.
I believe you.
Okay, wow. But I don't think I snore bad. But when I'm really tired, I definitely snore. I definitely snore.
No, for sure. When I'm really tired, it's over.
Yeah,
nigga, I am.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
You gonna hear Favorite junk food?
Does candy count? Just
Yeah.
I guess no. Lay's potato chips, original Lay's.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it for me. If you want to give me a snack, give me some potato chips, please. And I don't want the flavor. That is the flavor, honestly.
Yeah.
That or original Ruffles.
Okay, so you're original kind of gal. Okay.
Yeah, now.
Say a word in Spanish. You're crazy, bro. It's a lightning round. You can't do this.
A word in Spanish?
Yes.
Hola.
Of course. Favorite number?
I don't know.
Okay, that's fine. We're moving on. Who has it easier, men or women?
Man.
We'll stay away from that question.
Okay.
Have you ever worn socks with sandals?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I've actually
slides.
most of the time.
Yeah.
No, the thong sandals.
Why would you do that?
Because
Crypto gel for your nail?
moving on.
Okay.
Why can't we tickle ourselves?
What?
Oh, my heart. My heart.
Why can't we tickle ourselves?
That's a good question. I didn't look at these questions.
I was gonna say, well, like, I mean, okay, this sounds weird, but I tickle myself all the time. But like, that's because I'm funny. I'm like, oh, I'm tickled.
Got you. Not physically tickle yourself. I think that's what's more so asking.
Am I? Okay. I am very ticklish. It's not working. Okay, maybe I can. I might be able to. Okay, please.
We gotta move on. What? Would you rather cuddle with a panda bear or a
A panda bear or what?
or a baby penguin?
I think a panda bear would be more comfortable. The penguin's like slimy and scaly. I wouldn't want to cuddle with either, honestly. But if I had to choose between the two, I guess
you have to choose.
Okay, I guess the bear because it reminds me more of a blanket.
Name one of the 7 dwarfs.
Grumpy.
It's the breathable four. Oh my god. What are you eating for dinner? It's late. You probably not eating nothing, huh?
I don't know. I don't know.
All right, let me
Okay.
wrap this up so you can go.
Don't quit your daydream.
Say something in the Asian language.
How?
Is that why they call you Moy?
Shut up.
What do they call you?
I'm not gonna say it again. We'll say it off.
I'm gonna redo the tape. Do you respect Kanye West?
I mean, I don't know.
Cake or pie?
Pie. Sweet. Sweet
How many
potato.
times did you sneeze in the last 7 days?
I don't know, but hey, this pollen been wearing me out, so it's been a lot.
Big dogs or small dogs?
Oh man, I like them both, but I'll say small.
Are rats cute?
No. Have you seen your never mind.
I don't even know what you was about to say. We're moving on.
I can't.
Give presents or get presents?
I love giving presents.
Oh, that's so sweet. Meanwhile, I haven't ever received a gift.
That's another story. Yeah.
Do you like the smell of gasoline?
Yes,
That's interesting.
I do.
Most people do.
I truly. And
Do
Home
you like
Depot.
the name Charlie for a girl?
No.
Do you currently own stuffed animals?
Yes.
How many redheads are you friends with? I didn't write these questions.
I mean, I don't know. Nobody.
How long can you?
Oh God.
How long can you hold your breath for? And that's been episode 13 of the Dream Lab podcast.
I was doing good. And then you made me laugh. Golly.
We got to get out of here.
How long was that?
That was a good 3 seconds. Yeah.
Man.
Thank y'all again for tuning in to another episode of the Dream Lab podcast, episode 13. We've had so much fun today. Chrissy B, that's it. I think that's it.
Chrissy B.
I think that's what we're gonna do.
Baby.
So you gotta change it on Instagram now.
That's my name.
It's Love Chrissy on Instagram.
But I'm saying that's my name now. Chrissy B. Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, thank y'all for watching. Next episode, Kev will be back. We got some guests coming this season. This season's gonna be crazy.
It's about to be
we got
lit.
a lot of ideas coming, a lot of crazy different content ideas. Stay tuned. Make sure you join the community. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you tell somebody about this podcast. Make sure you tell your mom.
Your mom.
I tried to do it. I couldn't do it this time. I couldn't do it. Normally I have a mom joke at the end, but it didn't flow.
It's okay.
Yeah, it's fine.
We have next episode for it.
Yeah.
Nah.
All right. Well, I'm going to bed.
Bye.
Bye.
Nah.